What comes to mind when you think of studying? Usually a mental image of a cluttered desk with papers, folders, books, and note cards comes to mind. Some people, including me, may even get a stressed out feeling when they think of spending hours at a cluttered desk. What if someone told you that there was a way you can avoid all of this clutter? Have you ever thought about using your smartphone to study to avoid all these note cards and notebooks on your desk? Well, according to a 2012 article titled Cell Phones in the Classroom, Collaborative or Calamitous, published in the Online Learning Consortium through Valencia College, states that in a recent study, 95% of college students recorded that they bring their cell phone to class on a daily basis. Out of those students, 62% of them own a smartphone. These students have the potential to make studying easier by taking advantage of the different apps and aids available to them through their smartphone. In this speech, I'm going to inform you of a few different ways that your cell phone can serve as a study aid. I, being a freshman in college, have struggled to adapt to the level of studies presented to me in college. I also struggled to find a successful way to study. Making note cards took way too long, and I needed a newer, quicker, and more successful way to review the information being taught to me. I took a look at what the App Store had to offer and was very surprised at what they had as options for me to study. Using my cell phone has provided me with a successful way to study by making note cards and using various different note-taking apps. College students need to become more open-minded when it comes to different ways of studying. Oftentimes, cell phones are connected with a negative connotation when it comes to studying, but they can be used as a positive one if they are open-minded to the different apps that are available on iPhones and Androids to study. In this speech, I will be sharing information with you about how college students may use a cell phone to successfully study. The first point we will go over is downloading a note card app to make your needed note cards. The second thing I will talk about is downloading online textbooks available for your phone. And lastly, I will speak about the convenience of using a portable cell phone for typing papers or notes when you do not have an access to computer in class or outside of class. The first point we will go over is downloading a note card, math, or organizer app to make your needed note cards faster and to use them to help you study successfully. A 2016 article titled Flashcard, Math, and Organizer Apps for the 21st Century Student, published in the New York Times by Kit Eaton, names and describes a few different note card apps that may be used. In this article, she says the flashcard apps are helpful tools to memorize necessary information. She first mentions StudyBlue. StudyBlue is available for iOS and Android users, and this app allows a student to add a definition to one side of the card and a word to the other, flipping them back and forth to study. The benefit of this app is that it allows a student to add a photo to analyze the data, or you can add audio as well. This app also encourages looking up other flashcard sets made by a teacher, other student, by searching for a keyword or the student's name themselves. A student must pay to gain full use of this app. The second app the article names is Cram.com, which is available to iOS and Android users. This app is much like StudyBlue in the sense that it allows a student to make a basic note card by adding one word on one side and the definition on the other. The difference between these two apps is that one app is free and the other one is not. The last app that this article mentions is an app that allows a student to plug in a problem they are confused about, gain the answer, along with a step-by-step explanation of how to do the problem, and this app is called Symbolab. The student must pay to use this app as well. Making note cards is an essential part of some students' habits in college, and these apps that I just mentioned make it easier. But that's not the only thing that college students may use to make their studying go more smoothly. The second way a student may use their cellular device to make a college education go more smoothly is downloading the class textbook online. Online college textbooks can very well be more cheaper than buying a new one or a used hard copy. A 2013 article titled "E-Books and Cost Pressures Push Students Away from Textbooks," published on the CNBC website by Ellen Lee, states that the price of online textbooks is much more palatable. In the same article, a 23-year-old student from Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, says he found a book for $80 that would have cost him $200 if he would have bought the hard copy of that book. In this article, a reference to a statement by Steve Jobs includes his statement that the hard copy textbook industry is being set up for digital destruction. Slowly but surely, more and more teachers and students like that students are switching from a hard copy textbook to the digital ones. Not only colleges, but elementary schools, junior highs, and high schools have begun to experiment along with allowing their students to study on iPads or laptops. These textbooks may also be causing digital destruction in the sense that they can now include videos and audios that will also aid in teaching the student the information. In a study conducted by the Pearson Foundation, it was found that 69% of students think that within the next 5 years, digital textbooks would be the main thing used over a hard copy textbook. A study by the same foundation found that a little over half of college students actually prefer to read online digital textbooks. All of the benefits that come with using online textbooks arises the questions of how well using an online note-taking app would work. The last way I will mention today about the benefits of using your cell phone or iPad to enhance your study habits is the convenience of the use of a portable cell phone for typing papers and notes when you do not have access to a computer. Using your cell phone or laptop or your computer to take notes in class can be beneficial to organizing your thoughts. In a 2016 article titled "Organizing Your Thoughts with Note-Taking Apps," published on the New York Times website, also by Kim Eaton, gives different examples of note-taking apps that may be helpful. We all need something to keep our thoughts in line, and the first app she mentions is NoteShelf. This is the app where this app is most like directly writing in a notebook. You can place pictures within this app, you can handwrite on the app, and you can also type things out. You also may customize certain notebooks that you can refer back to later as something to find the notebook. The second app that app is only for iOS users, but another app available for Android users is called Lecture Notes. It has many of the same availabilities. The second app she mentions in the same article is Evernote. This app has many of the same features as the first app mentioned, but this app is available to iOS and Android users. Another 2016 article titled "Teens' Newest Use for Smartphones, Writing Papers on Them," published in the New York Times by Dugan Arnett, makes the claim that writing papers on a cell phone aids in relieving a little bit of stress of being a college student with tons of papers to write in the first place. This is especially geared toward students that are involved in many extracurricular activities. These students cherish the small amount of time they have between the activities. During this time, instead of carrying a heavy computer around where they have to sit down, pull their computer out, and begin to write a paper, the student may use their phone to write. Apps like Microsoft Word and Google Drive make this possible. As I stated before, learning about this option may benefit students in many different forms from all different majors, providing them with a convenient way to study their taught information. Using a cell phone to study is not a completely negative situation. There are ways to use a cell phone to study that is positive, and it is important for college students to have an open mind about using their cell phone to take notes, write papers, make note cards, and read online textbooks. I hope that after learning the different ways to successfully use a cellular device to study will help you all in the long run at Millikan University. I personally struggled the first semester of my freshman year to find a way to study that worked for me. Being open to using my phone provided me with a quicker, more available, and more convenient way to study the information I was asked to know. Remember that there are many different ways to use a cell phone to study successfully, and please be open to all of the possibilities.